Live on tape, this is the Jacob Pyle Show. And here he is, Jacob Pyle.
Thank you. Sister cries out from her baby bed. Brother runs in, feathers on his head. Mama's in her room, learning how to sew. Daddy's drinking beer, listening to the radio. Hank Williams sings to Elijah and Dear John. Time marches on. Time marches on. Sister's using rouge, clear complexion soap. Brother's wearing beads and he smokes a lot of dope. Mama is depressed, barely makes a sound. Daddy's got a girlfriend in another town. Bob Dylan sings like a rolling stone. And time marches on. Time marches on. The South moves north, north moves south. A star is born, a star burns out. The only thing that stays the same is everything changes, everything changes. Sister calls herself sexy grandma. Brother's on a diet for high cholesterol. Mama's out of touch with reality. Daddy's in the ground beneath the maple tree as the angels sing an old Hank Williams song. Time marches on. 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 City sun goes down at night, making way for neon lights. Country boy is looking at the moon. City girl is dressed just right. She may stay out late tonight. Country boy just plowed today till noon. From Birmingham to Ohio, how they met nobody knows. Every now and then they get together. used to wanna climb the walls. She'd never really been loved at all. Not until old country came to town. The first one to the room. Ice and drinks will be up soon. Everything is perfect when she walks in. They kiss and hold each other tight. They know what's in store tonight. They're not someplace they have never been. From Birmingham to Ohio, how they met nobody knows. Every now and then they get together. Used to wanna climb the walls. She'd never really been loved at all. Not until old country came to town. She used to wanna climb the walls. She'd never really been loved at all. Not until old country came to town.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Jacob Pyle Show. My name is Jacob Pyle, and I'm glad to have you with us today. My guest for tonight is Brooke Bonomi with the Singing Santas, and he'll be with us shortly. I want to talk, if I may, about fast food and I guess the importance, or especially the pizza business. So they ordered, the place I worked at ordered pizza for us this past Saturday. Normally we don't work Saturdays, but because we were working Saturday, they were kind enough to order us pizza. Well, apparently, I guess they had they were supposed to have two cooks. One of the cooks walked out, and they were slammed really hard. There was just one cook and a manager, and I think maybe two delivery drivers, and that was about it. And working fast food is tough. I've worked fast food before, and I get it. I remember once I worked at a McDonald's, and to kind of keep this short and sweet, there was a bus that pulled in. You know, I had to wait for right at the time I was supposed to leave, so I had to wait until the bus left. Well, one of the guys on purpose threw one of their drinks on the floor, and I had to mop it up. And then by the time I got it mopped up, another bus came in. So it was like 8:30 at night before I had to leave. I say all that to say, be kind to us fast food workers. Like, we're human beings. We're people too. You know, we make mistakes. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you guys had a great weekend. And it's going to be a great weekend because my guest is Brooke Bonomi of the Singing Santas. And we will be back with his interview after this. Welcome back to our program. My guest for tonight is part of a group called the Singing Santas. And his latest album is entitled Meet the Santas. And please welcome to our program, Brooke Bonomi.
Hello, Jacob. It's good to be on your show. Thank you so much for having me on to interview me about music. I know you love music, you love to sing, and I love music and I love to sing. And so I'm talking to you tonight about my group called the Singing Santas. It's been in existence since 1981, and we've been performing seasonally, like throughout the month of December, from 1981 till 2025. And the only time we didn't sing was during COVID. As when it was during that year we had a bit of a layoff. Other than that, we've been rocking and rolling all the way since 1981, when we started out as a singing Christmas card service up in the college, a small college in upstate New York called Oneonta, New York. We had a rocket, and so we had a Christmas card service that we would, basically do like a singing telegram, but with 2 Christmas songs instead, and raise money for a charity. And our tagline for the group is, "We're not your average rock and roll Christmas band," because we're really not your average rock and roll Christmas band. We play a lot of rockin' Christmas songs that, I do a lot of song parodies. I was a huge fan of Alan Sherman when I was a kid growing up. He did a lot of song parodies. And I had a math teacher named Mr. Titterton in Syosset High School. And he used to take calculus. He taught me calculus, and he used to have really fun calculus songs. Like he had this geometry song. So he goes, "There is a triangle I know, whose angles are in ratio 1, 2, or 3, which is easily to say 30, 69 measure 10. Oh, the measures of these angles are really quite unique, discovered by Pythagoras according to the Greek." So it was fun learning singing to calculus, So, and as I got older, I found writing song parodies was just, to me, so delightful. And since I can't really write music, so I could take other people's music and put my own funny lyrics to their melodies and their orchestrations and whatnot. And that's what I've been doing basically since probably 1984 is when I wrote my first song parody.
All right. Off the subject, I should say one thing. Because of technical difficulties, this is why we got this little setup going on. I'm lifting the laptop. I'm lifting the laptop to where you and I can both be seen on camera as we're taping this, Brooke. So
okay.
But yeah, I know who Alan Sherman is. The first time I heard of him was The Cat in the Hat. He actually voiced the title of character of The Cat in the Hat before. And I guess he was a writer on What's My Line before he ventured out on his own and became this wonderful comedic singer. So I think that's really cool. And died way too young, but in my opinion.
I like the comedy. I've always been a huge fan of musical comedy. Apparently, in 1965, I think, is when Mary Poppins came out. My mom tells me that when the Penguins came out to tap dance, I jumped into the aisle and I was tap dancing along with them. So.
People used to ask me all the time when I was a kid, "Can you spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?" And I could not. And at the time, I did not know. I haven't even heard of the song or anything until I actually watched Mary Poppins, and I couldn't even dare. Let me see if I can try to do it. SUPERCALIFRAGILISTICEXPIALIDOCIS, I think, something like that.
Well, I'm not going to spell check you on it.
But I gave it my best shot. That's the important thing.
All right, well, that's what life is about.
Yeah. But anyway, going back to the Singing Santas. So we were talking before, during these technical difficulties we've been having, that you guys go around to different areas. You guys used to go around. You guys went to nursing homes and now you're doing nightclub acts too. Tell us about that.
Well, the nightclub act is, there was a friend of mine has the #1 nightclub on Long Island, and he he came to my shows out at Rocky Point High School. He would bring his family out, and I said, well, his big nights are Friday, Saturday, and I said, why don't I, why don't you take a chance? We'll do a Thursday night show. You're not really open on Thursday night, so if it's a bust, you won't really lose that much money. You wouldn't be taking away from like a good night, like a Friday or a Saturday night. And so we did the nightclub, and I scaled down my stage show. I have a big stage show with acts and skits, and I didn't do any of that. I just did some traditional Christmas songs, some religious Christmas songs, some song parodies, some audience participation, and I worked it into like a 2.5-hour show. And a buddy of mine is like a professional Santa Claus, and I asked him, my friend Lance, the professional Santa Claus, I asked Lance to come in, and he came in. So it was a huge hit. So my friend Lance, he's Santa Claus, and at the time, the Mets have this closer called Edward Diaz, and he would play this trumpet song. And Edward Diaz would come in, and the whole Citi Field was rocking. So when I introduced Santa Claus, we played the trumpet song, and Santa Claus came into the nightclub and throwing candy canes all around. And then we went right into Bruce Springsteen's Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And it was very, very funny. So it was a very funny show. And then he asked me to come back again, and now we're coming back again. And he's actually made me think that maybe we could do Wednesday and Thursday night. So it has been very, very popular. I thought it would be. I thought it would work. People really like to go out and celebrate around Christmas time, and they're looking for unique Christmas venues to go out, because people are in a party, festive mood. They want to get out. They want to do something, and we offer them something like unique. It's the unique, crazy, silly, good, clean, fun Christmas show.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. So. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So when you're not doing the Singing Santas, like outside of the holiday season, what do you do during your spare time?
Well, I was a high school teacher for 33 years. So then I retired from the public school, and I decided to take a leave replacement at a Catholic school, and I taught there for 3 years, and then I taught theology for one of those years, and then I ended up getting a theology position at an elementary school in my area for the next 2 years, and then I just retired, and since then. My dad's been a little sick, so I've been visiting him like a couple times a week. That's as you know, that's why I was a little late today. So I've been doing that. I go to church every morning. I help out at my church. I count the money, and I just write. I just love to write. I've been writing and creating things. I love to write. I love to create funny things. So I'm keeping busy with those sorts of things. One of the blessings I had during COVID, I lost my job during COVID, and because I wasn't very good on the computer, I really couldn't. This is when I was at one of my, after teaching at my other high school, I was a leave replacement. They brought the teacher back to teach online. All my friends know I'm not very good at doing the online stuff, so they brought her back to teach her class, so they didn't really need me, and I couldn't really find a job because everything was closed during COVID. But that turned out to be a blessing for me, because I had guiltless free time on my hand. Like my wife knew I couldn't work, right? I had my pension check coming in. Nobody was hiring me, so I wasn't like being a slacker. I wasn't
30 seconds before break, just letting you know.
Okay, and so I was able to just write and write and write. So I wrote a screenplay, I wrote a book, I wrote 5 episodes for a pilot television show that I had called It Takes a Sinner, and I wrote another 5 episodes for the Singing Santa show. So it was just magnificent being able to have guiltless free time on my hand, because normally during the school year, it was like, I shouldn't be working on this song, I should really be working on a lesson, or grading this paper, or calling that parent. But during COVID, my mind was able to just, go crazy.
Right. All right, more with Brooke Bonomi of the Singing Santas right after this.
If you'd like to be a guest on the Jacob Pyle Show, or if you'd like a DVD copy of tonight's program, send Jacob an email. His email is jtpile1@aol.com. If ordering a DVD copy of the series, include the air date seen on your screen. Residents outside of Indiana will pay an additional $5 shipping and handling fee.
Welcome back. I hope you can join us next week on our program, where my guest will be Tom Rule. His album is called The Week Begins, and I hope you guys can join us for that. In the meantime, here's the conclusion to my interview with Brooke Bonomi. Incidentally, I was going to ask you this at the last segment, but time got ahead of us. Where can we purchase your latest CD?
Oh, the latest CD. You could just go on YouTube and grab it if you want. Honestly, it's just I would just go to it. You get it for free. It's I'm not I used to sell it, and I used to give the money to a little flower. I used to give the proceeds to that, and I made about I gave about $8,000 to charity there, and so based on the album. But yeah, right now it's on YouTube. It's called "Meet the Santas" by the Singing Santas. So you can, it wouldn't even. I'm not very good with the business aspect of my business. I'm good at the creative part of my business.
All right, so just type it in on YouTube: "Singing Santas," "Meet the Santas," Brooke Bonomi. There you go.
Yeah, you'll get the rock and roll Christmas song.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So when I had to interrupt you for break, we were talking about what you do when you're not taking part of the Singing Santas. Now let's talk about. Now I want to talk about Christmas. What do you like? What do you like so much about Christmas?
Oh, I like the feeling that there's excitement in the air. There's an anticipation in the air and so the whole Advent season is you getting yourself ready for Christmas, and people just seem friendlier and more excited. And there was a Honeymooners episode where Ralph was trying to explain why he loves Christmas so much, and I think Ralph did a good job in the Honeymooners, saying that people bump into you and they don't get mad at you. They say, "Oh, sorry about that. Merry Christmas to you." And people just seem to be in just a much more happy, joyous mood, and I myself am in a happy, joyous mood myself. A lot of people say they don't like the materialism of Christmas, and but my friend Randy and I had talked about that, and Randy said he kind of liked getting toys as a kid. It really just made it even more exciting. It didn't take away from my love for Jesus. It just made it more exciting, and so. You just link the two together, and don't get me wrong, I love the birth of Jesus and everything, and I love that. It gets me very excited that God would come in the flesh and walk on this planet. That, to me, is fantastic. It is the good news, and so that was the beginning, the birth of the good news, so to speak. And so I love all the holidays. I loved the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I loved all the Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I liked all those shows, White Christmas. The whole Elf now is like a classic, and Elf, I think why Elf is so wonderful is it's so joyful. There's the one woman, the secretary, when he first goes to see his dad for the first time, and he goes, you know Papa Elf? And it's the secretary. She encapsulates, she's so excited to be in the presence of somebody that's so excited about Christmas. And I myself am one of those people that's just super duper excited about Christmas. And that's what kind of happened on my way back from Thanksgiving break in 1981. Me and McCarroll and my friend Mike were driving me back, and we were singing Christmas carols all the way back up to Oneonta back from college break. And then my friend Kathy said, you need to make $100 or so to raise money for this charity. What are you going to do? And she said, why don't you do a singing telegram service? I said, no, let's do a singing Christmas card service. And so I got my friend Craig Marshall, the Craig Marshall Guitar Ensemble. He was a singer-songwriter that was living on my floor, and he was a great guitar player. And the next thing you know, we're going all over campus. For $1, we'd knock on your door, and we'd give you 2 songs for $1, and we would sing to you. And I had a bunch of guys, and we were called the Piggies players, then the East Side players, then we became the Wandering Winter Wondermen. And that was the name we had until we got to, I graduated and I got to Rocky Point, we became the Singing Santas. So those are the 4 different names we had.
Oh, that's awesome.
For the group. It was really awesome. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it's so cool how you guys are spreading the joy of the Christmas season during those holiday times. That's really cool. Now, I should point out one thing. I think I mentioned this earlier. The reason why we have this little setup going on is because normally we have a screen. I'll tell you how my day went. So when we went to tape this today, I have a camcorder that I usually. Well, I forgot to charge it this morning before I went to bed. I work third shift, and then we had some technical difficulties with the software that I normally use to record. So that's why we have this little setup. Hopefully we'll do better in the next couple weeks. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, hopefully you guys are okay with this. I'm sure Brooke's okay with this for sure.
Yeah, Jacob, I have a website called brookebonomi.com. And if anybody wants to see, like, the show, like, I used to make these shows. I had, like, 25 years. I wrote a new show, anywhere from 2.5 hours to the last one being 4 hours long. It's kind of like a Saturday Night Live, Carol Burnett type of show, with teachers acting in skits, students acting in skits, students writing skits. Like the band all learned the songs by themselves. Our band was called the Phi Santa Jamma Band and the Arctic Horns. And so we have a rockin' horns, we have a great band. And if you just go to brookebonomi.com, you can see about 8 shows that we had. And they're just very silly, fun, joyous. At one time we had like probably 150 kids on stage, all singing, all different types of kids, all different social and cliques, and they all got together. That's what people said they loved most about the Singing Santas, is watching all these kids that normally would never interact with each other, all interacting together, because they're just bringing joy to people. And when I used to bring them to the nursing homes, and sometimes the people in the nursing homes wouldn't clap much, and I go, don't worry about that. They are loving what you're doing. You're doing important work here. You're doing so even though they may not clap because they can't, you know that you are bringing joy to these people who otherwise would not be having joy. You're coming to visit them and singing to them and being, the awesome people that you are. And a lot of the kids really look back and they say that they really love that about their high school experience, being part of a group, being part of hey kids, let's put on a show, something bigger than themselves, so to speak. Because I couldn't do it by myself, so everybody just had to, chip in and do their thing to make the show come together, and it always would come together. So if you go to brookebonomi.com, you can just click on any of the shows. 1999 show is great. The 2003, the second show was called Night of the Living Santas. We had the good, the bad, and the jolly.
Yeah.
Rebel Without a Clause. They're all just very silly.
Yeah, silly names.
Silly
yeah. All right. Well,
yep.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
Our first song parody was with Bruce Springsteen. We made Born. In the USA was super popular. We called it and we called it Born in the North Pole.
Born in the North Pole. Yeah.
Like a Virgin was a popular. So we had a song called Like a Santa. And I go I made it through the blizzard. I made it through the snow.
All right. And on that happy note, we gotta end our show here. But Brooke Bonomi, thank you so much for joining us. It was a fun conversation.
Great. God bless you, Jacob.
No problem.
I think Dick Cavett would be proud of you.
Thank you. And that's also going to wrap up this session of the Jacob Pyle Show for now, because we are simply out of time. I'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. For Brooke Bonomi, Paul Boteet, and all of us on the Jacob Pyle Show, I'm Jacob Pyle. Thank you all for watching. Stay safe, and goodbye, everybody.
This program has been pre-recorded. Saying good night from all of us at the Jacob Pyle Show, I'm Paul Poteet.